Thank you. Senator Bennet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Congressman Long, for being here. Are you, you're going to be the most important tax person in this administration, and I was curious about whether you were aware that yesterday the 30-year bond actually touched 5% interest rate.
Yes.
And why do you think that was?
I didn't follow it, but I heard about it, yeah.
Do you think it might have had to do with the fact that Moody's stripped the United States of our AAA rating last Friday?
I'm not aware. I know.
Are you worried? Are you worried, Congressman Long, that Moody's stripped the United States
sure,
of our
I was aware of that, yeah.
Why are you not? Are you just aware of it? Are you worried about that?
When I got into Congress in 2011, our national debt was $14 trillion. I voted against every spending I could. Now it's 37. I think that the spending that people do here in Congress has a lot to do with why people are very concerned about our rating.
I would agree with that, because I think 1.1 out of $7 that we spend is now on interest. Would you agree that that's true?
Yes.
And that we're spending more now as a country on interest than we are on defense. That's before the yesterday's Sell America trade, as it was called, that lifted bond rate interest rates to 5%. Would you agree? That's tied to our deficit. You just mentioned it. You just mentioned how much it's increased. It's at $29 trillion today. How much more is that than when Donald Trump enacted his tax cuts in 2017?
2017, I don't have any recollection.
That's twice. Would it surprise you to know that it's twice as much as it was when he enacted his tax cuts in 2017? That our deficit is now twice as much as it was, probably 3 times it was when you joined the Congress to begin with?
I don't have any independent recollection of that, so I'm sure if you've got the figures, I'll go with your judgment.
Okay, well, that is, Congressman Long, what the facts tell us, and for the reasons that we were just talking about, our interest expense is only going up and up and up. Would you agree that as it goes up, that makes our deficit even worse than it already is?
As what goes up, I'm sorry?
The interest rates that we have to pay because this country is being downgraded because of the fiscal irresponsibility, you said, of Congress. I would say of an administration that is adding $3 trillion to our debt when we are not in a recession. Because, among other things, they want to give tax cuts to the wealthiest people in America. What do you say to people is that fair to people in Missouri that
I fought
they should have to?
Like I said, I fought all the spending for the 12 years I was here, and it fell on deaf ears. People don't want to cut you, don't want to cut me, cut the little guy behind the tree. And that's I mean, whether you're conservative or liberal, everybody says they want to do something about waste, fraud, and abuse, about spending.
What do we owe? You're the most important tax person in America now if you get this job. And you have that view of our deficits, which I know you've said that you do. What would you say to an administration that's now adding $3 trillion of debt, and where our credit rating has now lost its the last AAA rating that the United States of America had, that people in Missouri are counting on, people in Colorado are counting on, that we've now lost that AAA rating, and we're still going to spend like drunken sailors on your watch? What do you say to people at home about that?
Well, the same thing that I said for 12 years here in Congress. We have to get it under control. I'm not in the Congress anymore. I can't vote on.
But do you see, is there any evidence is the most important? I mean, do you understand math? You're a smart person. They haven't passed the bill yet in the House that's going to add another $3 trillion on top of the $30 trillion that's already here. Why isn't your message to them, don't do it?
What? I can't hear.
Why isn't your message to them, don't do it, don't add any more debt to the people in Missouri?
I think we need to start paying down our debt. And I've said that for 12 years. And you're here, you're able to.
What are you
you're
going to
able do
say to
things.
the American people when you leave this administration and the debt is is far worse today far worse when you're leaving than it is today?
We're going to have a lot of conversations with a lot of folks, with you and other people in Congress and the White House, and try and all work in the same direction.
I know I'm at an end, Mr. Chairman, but let me just say, I want the market to reflect that we are having this conversation 3 days after we lost the AAA rating of the debt of the United States, and a day after interest rate, the 30-year bond touched 5%. As a result of the fiscal irresponsibility of this administration. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator.